All right, guys. So here's the thing. Your metabolism does not change when you're 30 or 40 just because you hit 30 or 40. Okay, that's not how it works. Now, there's research that shows that your metabolism will slow down when you're hitting like in your 60s or whatnot. Sure. But just because you hit 30 or just because you hit 40, it doesn't mean just because of that your metabolism is shot and it slows down and now you're overweight and that's the only reason why you can't lose fat. Okay, that's the only reason why you gain body fat. That's the only reason why, Rich, I eat a salad and I gain weight. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. And I'll tell you what it is. It's pretty basic when you think about it. If you take 5 seconds, okay, what it is, guys, is when you're younger. Okay, we're talking about in your 20s or a teenager or 20s or even like late 20s. Okay, if you think of your life, especially in high school, you walk everywhere. Like you don't notice how many steps you're doing, but you're doing a lot of steps. You're walking to class, you're walking to the lockers, you're walking to the bathroom, you're walking at recess, you're walking at lunch, you're biking in the evening, meeting up with friends, you're doing your thing. If you're playing, that's not including if you're playing any type of sports, right? If you're playing sports, you're practicing. On top of all that walking you're doing in class and all that, you're playing sports, you're practicing. You're, doing all this. You're very active. And then you get older. Then you have responsibilities. Then you get a desk job. Then you sit for most of the days. Then you go home, you're tired from your desktop. So what do? You lounge on the couch. And then you take the elevator because you're tired. Then you get in your car because you drive to your job because, you work wherever and you have to drive. And now that you have a car, you don't walk anywhere. And that's what happens. Really, that's literally what happens. Now, if you think about it, you can still change that. Because if you look at anyone that's fit, okay, 30 and plus, 40 plus, 50 plus, if you look at their lifestyle, you'll notice they all do one thing in common. They're all active. They all move. They all do either some type of sports, recreational. They hike, they cycle, they walk. They're active, guys. They're active, okay? Now, if you look back at your high school days or college days or whatever, you may walk 10, 15,000 steps a day and not notice. And you look now, go take a look. Pause the video. Go take a look. How many steps did you do today? The average person does around 3,000 steps, okay? So if you're doing 3,000 steps a day from 10, 15,000 steps earlier in your life, what do you think is going to happen if you don't change anything else, which you don't, like in the sense of people don't normally change the way they eat when it comes to their diets and their way their food is intaked, right? So the way you intake your food in high school and college or whatnot when you're younger is like just a habit for you. So then you keep eating the same way. The only difference, you can't get away with it because you're just not as active. But if you're active, you can probably get away with eating, pretty much the same food, give or take. Now, obviously, if you eat whole foods and if you cook your own food, if you don't eat it out, all that helps because at the end of the day, it's calorie in, calorie out when it comes to being in a deficit or not. That's pretty straightforward. But when you really think about it, the whole point of this video is you're just not active enough, guys. You gotta move more. You gotta move, you gotta walk, you gotta hit your steps. If you have a step count, hit it. If you're not active, start walking, start being active, move more, just move more, okay? Park your car further away from the door. Stop circling for 30 minutes to find a close parking spot. Just go park and walk. Stop taking the elevator 2 levels up. Take 2 flights of stairs. You just have to be active, guys, okay? You got to be active. That's the difference between someone that is fit in their 30s and 40s versus someone that is not. It's that simple when you think about it. Now, obviously, diet's important. Obviously, working out is important, sure. But right now, I just want to keep it very basic and I want to keep it very simple, okay? You need to start moving more. So I want you to move more in the next couple of weeks. Let me know below, what are your step count today and what is your goal moving forward? Maybe circle back in a week. let me know what it is, and then I'll see you on the next video. Keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple.